Welcome to Dream Farm. We're going to burn this hill behind us today. It's a little bit breezy, but it's supposed to drop off as the afternoon goes here. Humidity is in the mid 30% range, and it's supposed to hang for a few more hours. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 11th of March. So now you know all the vital statistics. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge today. Normally, when you're burning, you're a little bit worried about the fire getting away from you and being able to control it. But I'm more worried today about just being able to get it to burn. The ground is really wet. We are on a southwest facing hillside. There's two ridges here, two little points that we're going to try to burn. And they hopefully are drying out, with the sun beating down on them. So I won't say this is an experiment because it can work. It's just whether or not it'll work today. That's going to be the biggest challenge. This is an area that we did the TSI on, Carson and I, last year. So there is, quite a bit of sunlight getting to the ground, so that will help to dry things out. But there's also the dead trees that we've cut that are laying there, which potentially could slow the fire moving through. That's the scoop. Oh, we got to be careful though, because, well, maybe not. We got the haunted shack back here, and that burning down might not be the worst outcome. In fact, that might be the greatest success of our day.
The goal.
Yeah, that might be, if nothing else works, if we burn that shack down, the haunted shack, that might be considered a success. But to prevent that from happening, we're going to try to burn around it in a controlled way and burn away from it and then kill it. That way, if the fire does come back down through here as we're burning up above, it won't burn the building down. But like I said, that wouldn't be the end of the world if it did. We'll show you guys what's inside there, and you'll know why I want this thing burned.
You want me to go look at it?
I want you to film. You got to go to that side and film inside.
I don't want to go in there.
You don't have to go in. You just film in through the opening. What?
It's definitely haunted.
Oh, it's nasty.
Dream Farm is brought to you by Whitetail Institute, research equals results. Hunt Stand Pro Whitetail app. Hoyt Archery. Stealth Cam trail cameras. Wildlife farming. And PH Outdoors food plot drills.
This is like just a real quick test of how we're going to do it. But we're going to build as we go around the side and over the top. We're going to build what they call a black line, which is you're just burning it in. You're burning it in. And that way, no matter what happens when you get to the bottom, maybe you want to start it and burn it a little bit faster up. It can't jump that because we've burned up all the fuel. So it's really pretty simple. Like you can see, this is putting itself out.
Right.
So our biggest challenge is not going to be losing control of this. Our biggest challenge is going to be able to keep it going, and fortunately, the sun is hitting on this, and it is supposed to be a low humidity day. So I'm hopeful that we can make this work. If not, we're going to have to come back again, sometime in the future and try again. But yeah, see how slow it's burning down?
Yeah.
If we start at the top and burn down, it could be 2 days before it got down here to the bottom, working down through there that slow. The only good part about moving that slow is it does have more time to kill the plants, because the flame is in contact with the base of the plants longer, so it has to pop. It basically destroys the molecular structure of the part that moves the nutrients up and down, and that's what kills it.
We have drained every ounce of energy out of our feeble and geriatric bodies. Well, maybe that's a self story. It was a long day. We did get 30 acres burned, roughly. And it started slow, but once we got a little bit further into the day, things dried out, and then it really burned. But once the valley went into shadow and the thermal started dropping down in, then it kind of shut the fire down again. So it really is all about the conditions, making sure that you've got the right humidity when the sun is shining. That definitely helps. We didn't have too many, I would say, moments of panic, but we had one in the grass. Grass is always kind of sketchy. What did you guys think? Any moments of panic for you?
The first start, it just went up really fast, and I was leaf blowing, and the leaves were burning all over the place, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a long day."
Yeah. Well, the mistake we made there was you just have to make when things take off, you got to make your fire break a ways back.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you fight the fire itself, it's really, really hard. So you just got to jump back a little ways, make your fire break, and it's easy to control it.
Yeah,
But,
I learned that quick.
Yeah.
I would say too, it looks scarier and more aggressive on the ground than it does when you put the drone up in general, because I put the drone up, I was like, oh, that's
all we did.
it. It looks a lot more dramatic when you're standing right next to it. But
Yeah. When you feel the heat pumping towards you.
yeah.
But no, we did a good thing, and there's a few spots that didn't burn, so we'll have to wait until the conditions are dry again, and we'll come back and hit those spots. But this is one of the things that we do. We do this in order to clean out all the junk, hit the reset button on the habitat, get the right stuff to come in. You kind of have to do this every few years to get the right stuff on the ground that the deer like to eat. We do all the TSI work, then we have to come back, like I said, to make sure that what comes in is good.
How often do you think you have to do it after you, every how many years?
I think every 3 years, once we get it into a rotation. Some of these spots we're going to burn twice in a row because they had a lot of invasives in them. That Japanese Barberry was bad in a few spots, and the prickly ash. So we're going to hit some of them 2 years in a row, and then we'll fall into an every 3 year rotation. Any other thoughts, fellas? We had a lot of help, and I needed every bit of it.
I would say something, and we talked about this a little bit last year, but the wind, Carson, you said earlier, on this farm in particular, it doesn't really matter what direction the wind is out of, because it just kind of swirls and does whatever it wants to.
Yeah, we learned that today too.
That's what killed us.
Yep.
Yeah, we were fine when the wind was blowing the direction it was supposed to blow, but as soon as that wind flipped and swirled in the opposite direction, boy, that really pushed the flames on us. And that's the only part that I thought was kind of dangerous, was that swirling wind.
But it dropped way off. I mean, there's no wind now.
No, it's just thermals coming down
The
the valley.
smoke's just sitting there.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. We'll be burning a few more times and try to bring you some kind of a tip each time that we do. Well, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you right back here again soon for the next episode of Dream Farm. And remember to always dream
Big.
Big.